A very good evening and welcome to the 8 p.m. news broadcast brought to you by Eswatini TV. My name is Nondobego Nzabgelwago and I am together with Zama Nzimante. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines. Government will deal decisively with individuals and entities who do not observe the laid down COVID-19 regulations. The new HIV prevention option promises to end HIV and AIDS by the year 2022. Local businesses are encouraged to apply for the Development Bank of Southern Africa Climate Finance Facility. The news in detail. The Prime Minister, Ambrose Dlamini, says government is going to deal decisively with individuals and entities who do not observe the laid down COVID-19 regulations. The Prime Minister said this when addressing the media at Cabinet.
When addressing the media and Cabinet, the Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says, unfortunately, government has noted with serious concern the behavior of a few individuals who continue to disregard the COVID-19 regulations over the past few weeks.
Some citizens still refuse to wear face masks when in public or using public transport. Others still continue to engage in banned sporting activity, including informal football, whilst others do not adhere to the laid down protocols governing the hosting of gatherings, particularly entertainment activities. It is for this reason that government is taking a stern disciplinary action against certain establishments for non-compliance to the COVID-19 regulations. The relevant ministries will soon make announcements to address this concern. Government will not allow reckless entities or individuals to reverse these immense national gains we have made over a very trying period in our history as a nation. We will not hesitate to ban and bring to the law any individual or entity that fails to follow the laid down regulations.
The Prime Minister says government's efforts to continue supporting the micro, small and medium enterprises sector are ongoing.
Even though the implementation of this fund has taken a bit longer than initially anticipated, I am pleased to announce that it is now near finalization as its regulations are now in Parliament.
Government has also announced a 650 Emalangeni subsidy for COVID test for informal cross-border traders in the kingdom.
Government is also pleased to announce the provision of a 650 Emalangeni subsidy on COVID-19 tests for informal cross-border traders. This means cross-border traders will pay a minimum fee of 200 Emalangeni for the test, provided they are included in the list for weekly travel to be submitted to the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade by cross-border trade associations. A total of 21,368 employees have now been paid from the relief fund to date. It must be noted that a majority of the employees who were laid off have since been recalled back to work pursuant to the cautious and gradual opening of economic activity and relaxation of the partial lockdown restrictions. However, those employees who are still on layoff continue to benefit from this fund. A total of 12,794,600 Emalangeni has since been paid from the fund.
According to a statement released by the Minister for Health on Tuesday, the country has 159 COVID-19 active cases. For Eswatini TV News, I am LinkedIn Gule in Babani.
Minister of Home Affairs Princess Lindiwe says Eswatini is among the first countries within the SADC region to have come up with a national action plan to prevent and eradicate statelessness. The minister has said this today at the Royal Swazi Convention Centre during a parliamentary workshop on statelessness.
The Kingdom of Eswatini ratified international instruments that address issues of statelessness. Minister of Home Affairs Princess Lindiwe says Eswatini is now among the first countries within the Southern African Development Community to have taken action on certain key aspects of statelessness issues.
Emapoint lamabili kufanele endiwe kwathiwa kufanele kube khona umvulo okhethwako ukuthi abuke nje indaba ka statelessness bese pheze futhi abuka ukuthi iplan kwentiwa kanjani ukuthi kwenziwe iplan letakwenda ukuthi size sifike lapho khona sesitela abantu aba stateless livela kangwane ke selikwendile lokho selimkhethile umuntu lotaba nguye lotabuka letindzaba letaka statelessness inze futhi silive sibe ngilamanye amave lawa sadakhe lasatshengisa ukuthi sakayafuna ukuyiqala lendlela yokubuka ukuthi ke abantu laba stateless bangentiwa kanjani sisebenza ke nalaba ke bakamhlaphulangene bema refugees sesivele sesicele ukuthi kwendiwe sitadi lesithide lesitawubuka ukuthi abantu laba stateless kangwane bangakanani sevele kucaliwe ke lokho sekuyendiwa bekumene bakhona lese baphumule babuka ukuthi
the minister says the objective of the meeting with senators is to create a common understanding of statelessness and the right to nationality, its legal notions, causes and consequences. She also says it will give senators an overview of international instruments ratified by the Kingdom of Eswatini that have a bearing on statelessness. These include statelessness conventions. For Eswatini TV News, Tembos Mavimbela, Ezulwini.
It is important for tourism stakeholders to work together to develop the sector in the country. This has been said by the Minister for Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Moses Vilagati, during the opening of the Tourism Interministerial Committee or Tourism Cluster meeting at Mountain Inn on Wednesday. The Tourism Cluster is made up of officials from the tourism, environmental, law, municipal and business sectors, among others.
The tourism cluster was established to create a platform for tourism stakeholders and government entities to deliberate and collaborate to find solutions on cross-cutting tourism issues. Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs Moses Vilagati says this was to elevate the tourism agenda within Eswatini. The minister implored all stakeholders to come up with ideas on how they can contribute to the growth of the sector by coming up with programs in this regard. He said, as a ministry, they are proud of the establishment of the cluster.
As a ministry, we are extremely proud to undertake such an exercise of this magnitude. The exercise of establishing the Tourism Cluster Committee is a fundamental step for the Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs. That is, as it is the key that will unlock the seamless implementation of activities which are outlined in the Eswatini National Tourism Policy of 2019. The revival of the Interministerial Committee is paramount as a means of recognizing tourism as a national priority by promoting awareness of the country's tourism policy throughout government, in the public sectors, public enterprises, service agencies, and the general public through schools, local government, and mass media.
Vilagati said, it is important for all sectors to pull towards the same direction in tourism issues so tourists can be given the same factual information about the sector in the country. He then ensured that his ministry will ensure the tourism agenda is prioritized in Parliament and supported by government and the nation. For Eswatini TV News, Tembos Mavimbela, Mbabane.
The Minister for Health, Ngosi, says the new prevention option for HIV and AIDS shows tremendous promise in women and brings hope in ending HIV and AIDS by the year 2022. The minister was speaking when introducing the new option for HIV prevention known as the long-acting Kabla injection.
The Kingdom of Eswatini is part of a study known as HPTN-084, which was implemented in other countries in sub-Saharan Africa, which was a study aimed to find more ways of HIV prevention. The Ministry of Health collaborated with the Family Life Association of Eswatini and ICAP at Columbia University to implement the trial. The Minister of Health, Ngosi, says the study has been successful so far, as a new injection that will be available to women in preventing HIV and AIDS will be more effective than other pills.
In November 11, 2020, a landmark clinical study has just demonstrated that an injectable form of pre-exposure prophylaxis is highly effective in preventing HIV acquisition in women, presenting a welcome new option to help keep women safe from the virus that can cause AIDS. The study, known as HPTN-084, found that an injection of an antiretroviral medication called long-acting cabotegravir or Kevlar, given once every 2 months, was nearly 9 times, I repeat, 9 times more effective at preventing HIV infections than the oral version PrEP known as tenofovir or TDF-FTC, which must be taken every day and is taken orally.
The Executive Director of National Emergency Response Council of HIV and AIDS, Kanya Mabuza, says it is great to see the Kingdom of Eswatini and other countries finding more better ways of preventing HIV and AIDS.
So when we heard the good news that Eswatini is part of the countries to pilot the study, we felt, no, we are really honored. Today we are more than honored. We feel so excited. There is nothing better than getting a new intervention on prevention.
The Ministry of Health urges women to continue using the pill that is available for preventing HIV and AIDS, as they will announce when the injection is available in health facilities in the country. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Temalangeni Dlamini Mkonda in Babane.
We will now take a look at the COVID-19 update from the Ministry of Health. The Minister for Health would like to inform the public of the status of COVID-19 in Eswatini. A total of 494 results were received today, out of which 20 people tested positive. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases to date is 6,044. Active cases today are 163, recoveries are 5,744, fatalities are 117, while those that are registered for care are 20. Looking at the cumulative confirmed COVID-19 cases by region, Manzini region has 2,694 cases, Hoho region has 2,298 cases, Lubombo region has 543 cases, while the Shiselweni region has 509 cases of coronavirus. Minister for Tourism and Environmental Affairs Moses Vilagati has encouraged local businesses to apply for the Development Bank of Southern Africa Climate Change Climate Finance Facility. The DBSA CFF funding is open to businesses that bring solutions to climate change issues. The minister said this during an online meeting with the DBSA today.
During the meeting, it was said that Eswatini has a few applications for the Development Bank of Southern Africa Climate Finance Facility compared to other eligible countries. These other countries are South Africa, Lesotho and Namibia. Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Moses Vilagati, says the private sector should apply for the funding before the window closes month end.
DBSA's Climate Finance Facility is therefore an opportunity that can help us build resilience to climate change and contribute to mitigation. Let us take advantage as a Maswati and apply for this facility. Projects which are building infrastructure in renewable energy, water, clean transport and waste management are prioritized for this funding. DBSA will expand the funding through the value of USD 170 million.
Vilagati says DBSA will expend funding to the value of $170 million through this climate finance facility. He says applicants will be eligible to 30% funding, while 70% will have to be sourced from commercial banks. This funding is in line with Sustainable Development Goal 13, which speaks to climate change issues. Tapping into this opportunity can assist Eswatini contribute to achieving this goal while also empowering locals with job opportunities. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, Mbabane.
The Minister for Health, Lizingosi, says the Kingdom of Eswatini is the only country that has reached the 95-95-95 target, and it is great to see that a significant amount of Emaswati are aware of their HIV status. The minister was speaking during a candlelight ceremony, which is a way of celebrating health workers and all Emaswati who continue in the fight of ending HIV and AIDS in the country.
The Minister of Health, Lizingosi, says Emaswati have made great progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS, but people should be committed in overcoming challenges that continue to confront the country. The minister says it is important for everyone to support each other and make sure that they use all methods provided by Ministry of Health to prevent the disease.
We are still dealing with HIV and AIDS because it is here to live with us. This is one disease that has defied science. There's a lot of work still going. Later today we'll be talking about it. There's a lot of work going on, but the important thing about today is about looking after ourselves. Key thing, God gave us one body, one life, and it is up to us to look after this body. It is up to us to prevent things from damaging this body. So this morning, as we remind one another and remind the whole of government workforce that it is important to look after ourselves, because HIV and AIDS is about sonke. It is about you, it is about me, it is about all of us. And today is a very important day to say, please remember this as we build up to the World AIDS Day. We know that it's not just about the one day, it is about every day, it is about the choices we make every day. So as we light the candles today, is taking this candle forward to the next generation and the generation after, but to all of us to say that by 2022 we want to say bye-bye HIV and AIDS, and it is up to us. Let's do it. Thank you.
The Director of the Ministry of Public Service, Sandile Msweli, says Emaswati should share the responsibility of ending AIDS and not forget that HIV and AIDS still exist during this period of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Kingdom of Eswatini has been fighting with HIV and AIDS for 36 years now. By 2022, the Kingdom aims to have eradicated HIV and AIDS. Reporting, I'm Temalangen Dlamini with Muslim Konda in Babane.
Members of Parliament have thrown their weight behind the construction of a new Parliament building that will cost government about 1.7 billion emalangeni. Legislators say the existing Parliament building is too old and becoming small as it was constructed around 1967. The lawmakers warned about the proper use of the loan to be raised for this purpose.
When Parliament sat on Wednesday, one of the issues that were debated was the issue of the construction of a new parliament structure. The structure will cost approximately 1.7 billion emalangeni. Members of Parliament took turns debating on the issue and they showed their support for it.
So Speaker, siyacela ukuthi timbona tembuso setiyele ngaphandle. Tibuka ukuthi bantu bafuna basiteka lenjani. Simo sibi le ngaphandle. Bantu bayithini i-service delivery. Siyacela bahlonishwa. Ngisho ngiyasupporta lo sakhiwo futhi lesingento kahle ukuthi sisele kahle sesibuya sisikhathi sesikhona. Kakhulu ngawo Speaker ngenza bayengagundvana. Futhi asikabheki ukuthi bese kuba nengagundvana kule mali le. Asikayibheki futhi ukuthi iya-escalator kulele kiko lokho. Sawuzefike periodically kufuna abuye executive atote kuye i-sessional committee uthi umsebenzi ohambe esola kwendeka nawo singaboni lesibone emva
lolu thando labanalo ngiko Mr Speaker namhla bathike against all odds noma kumadima kepha le bill itawuphasa basho njalo Speaker ngenzaba ukuthi bayathi ukuthi eMaswati kusasa tathi mabuke emuva athi sakhethe emadvodza nebafati labaphilako lababona kwekuthi uma badileya ngokwakha amasakhiwo kusho ukufala umthwalo ongeduku emandla.
Members of Parliament have pointed out that in 2018, 4 more Tinkundla were added in Parliament as well as 4 additional women MPs representing the 4 regions of the country. They say Parliament has other staff members who use the same building, which has proven to be small. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, Parliament.
And in our sports news today, Stebe Samhlekazi head coach Bongmusa Mdluli says the lack of preparatory games is what is letting them down when attending tournaments like the COSAFA Cup. Mdluli was speaking after returning home from the tournament that was played in the Republic of South Africa.
Stebe Samhlekazi did struggle to progress to the knockout stage of the COSAFA Cup after again being eliminated early in this year's edition that was played in South Africa. The team could only win 1 game, which was against Comoros, and they were defeated by the host South Africa and Angola to see them finish third in Group A. The national team head coach Bongmusa Mdluli says they need to keep the team together for more time than what's currently happening.
A little bit of preparation, continuous preparation. Like now we are back. Let us not maybe go and sit, but we have got to maybe after some time come back, maybe 2 days a week, maybe 1 day a week, get the team together, train the team. I think there can be some continuity if we can try to arrange and plan that way. But we are going to put a proposal with the AFA because they have continuously supported us as a team. So we hope in this regard we are going to do well. If we can, that is my personal opinion, if we can have the team together and train the team maybe for a period of two times a week, I think we can do well.
Team captain Noctura Dlamini says their opponents are more professional than them.
Sibadlala singathi lo mdlalo usukhonze obekanconywana obekungafani but vele no ba professional kakhulu abantu besidlala nabo. Kufuna ngathi nje sizame ukuthi silungise ngala ekhaya before Sunday sokhompyutha.
Noctura says they were also affected by the regulation put in place to fight the coronavirus, so they did not move freely. Mdluli, on the other hand, says even though they did not progress, it was still a good tournament and they learned a lot, which they hope to use in future coming tournaments. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizo Msibi, Lobamba.
Well, we've come to the end of our news bulletin, but before we wrap up, let's take a quick recap of the headlines. Government will deal decisively with individuals and entities who do not observe the laid down COVID-19 regulations. The new HIV prevention option promises to end HIV and AIDS by the year 2022. Local businesses are encouraged to apply for the Development Bank of Southern Africa Climate Finance Facility. Eswatini, we have come to the end of our news bulletin. That brings us to the end. Good night and God bless.